Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Money, Real Business podcast. I'm Lauren, and today we have Martin on the show, who's selling a SaaS business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. Hey Martin, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Really happy to have you on the show, and I can't wait to learn more about your business. It certainly sounds like a fascinating one. But before we dive in, I'm going to give the listeners a brief summary of the business so that they know what we're talking about. As I mentioned, this is a SaaS business. It was created in March 2010, and it's in the news and education and science niches. The average revenue for the business is $7,406 per month, and it makes an average of $6,622 per month in net profit. The assets included with the business are a primary domain, including all site content and files, secondary domains, 301 redirects, supplier relationships, Facebook and Twitter social media accounts, trademarks, an email list with 18,104 subscribers, source code and DevOps environment, and Azure subscription. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 62046 to learn more about this business. Or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So now that we know more about the business, let's hear from the seller. Martin, can you fill us in on your background in starting and running online businesses?
Yes. So the company was founded in 2010, but I actually started in this field already back in 2003. So I just finished university, I studied information technology, and I landed my first software engineering job. So I was looking for a side project to challenge myself a bit in web design and development. And I was looking for a project that was a bit more challenging than, let's say, a web shop for a local shop around the corner. So I saw the need for this research tool. So the theory behind this tool is widely used, but the study itself was carried out by hand. And it was a time-consuming and error-prone job to get the results. So I went ahead and I built the first version in 2003. It was all in Dutch, it was simple and free of charge. So I talked about it with some professionals in the industry and the usage started to pick up. So I quickly had around a few hundred subscribers, so that was nice. So in 2005, a Dutch public company wrote an article about my site and then traffic just exploded. And I even needed to switch hosting providers since the infrastructure just couldn't handle the traffic anymore. Since then, this site became my biggest hobby. My profession is in the same field, so I could apply my professional skills in the site and vice versa. So this went along for a few years. And in 2010, I suddenly had 80,000 Dutch registered users on my site. So I decided, I need to do something with this. So I decided to professionalize the business. I contacted professionals in the industry, gathered a team, and together we redesigned the layout and the user experience. We designed a few new features and we developed a revenue model. And also we made the site multilingual and we translate by professionals as well. So since 2010, we worked on the feature roadmap of the site. And at the end of 2020, we decided that the roadmap was completed. So since then, I manage the site myself. I have some maintenance and support tasks for a few hours per week.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's such a great story. A wonderful success story that I think all SaaS business owners wish they had that same trajectory. When you were initially looking for a project to work on, what inspired you to start a business on this particular topic?
Yeah, so I really saw the need for this research tool. I talked about it in the professionals in the industry, and they were really saying, so this is cumbersome to do. It takes a lot of time. Can't we do it better? And also the domain was quite challenging enough to keep me interested. So that's really the reason why I started this.
Fantastic. Yeah. It certainly sounds like you have a lot of passion for this business. It suits your skill set, as you said. What are the reasons that you've decided to sell the business now?
I'm now working in the field for almost 20 years. So like I said in the intro, the roadmap is completed and it's time for me for a new challenge. Also, last year I started a family. My first daughter is now 1 year old and my second kid is already on the way. So family is fantastic, but it takes a lot of time. So with the capital, I will buy free time for myself to focus on new projects. That being said, so selling this business is indeed an emotional thing for me. This part of my life for so long, so it really comes with a bittersweet feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. It's wonderful that this passion project of yours is able to buy you that time that you need with your family now. Looking back on your journey with this business, what would you say was your biggest win since starting the business?
Actually, there are three things that really stand out. So, first of all, the article I mentioned 2005, that one really started everything, and I'm still grateful for that. So, second thing is there is a big need for this research solution because up until now, we spent $0 on marketing, and still customers are coming in from all over the world. We have a large collection of testimonials from satisfied users. And third, really the thing that stand out is gathering the team of professionals in 2010 because we were able to have a very small feedback loop and we were able to design a great user experience with not too many bells and whistles. It's really self-guiding for the user. So this results in almost zero questions about site features from users.
Yeah, those are all great points. Sort of events that help to catapult the trajectory of the business, which is fantastic. On the flip side of the coin, I'm sure not everything went according to plan. What would you say was your biggest setback or challenge?
So in the design phase, we designed different research methods. So we wanted to offer multiple types of research methods to attract users from different disciplines. And these studies reached the same goal, but a slightly different angle. So they differed in, for example, the work that's being involved to set up and execute the research, and also the amount of detail the results are achieving. So we spent quite some time in building, testing, and reviewing these methods. And we offered them side by side on the website for a while. And we included a clear description on when to use them and why to use them. But still, users became confused and uncertain and received quite some questions about what method to use. So in the end, we decided to decommission the more complex methods in favor of the most popular, easy to use method, which has great results. When we did that, the customer questions reduced dramatically. And we learned that offering a lot of bells and whistles is not favorable for your business. So we kept the tool cohesive and consistent, and this results in happy users.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes the simplest solution is the best one. When it comes to attracting users to your site, how do customers find your business?
So they find us directly. They find us via word of mouth. And we do a little bit of SEO. And that means that we optimize the landing page for search engines.
Okay, fantastic. And do you do any social media marketing as well?
Not so far. We haven't done any campaign whatsoever.
Okay, great. So, with all of that in mind, Martin, what do you see as the major opportunities for growth with this business?
Yeah, so first I would start with the so-called low-hanging fruit. First of all, the subscriptions are currently auto-renewed. So how it works is like this. So all subscriptions run for a year. And when the subscription is about to end, the user gets notified via email automatically. And then they need to renew the subscription via the webshop. So of course, this step could be automated. That would reduce churn, but also would increase customer happiness because they don't need to do this step every time, every year. So I would first focus on that part. Next, like I said, the feature roadmap has been completed, so I wouldn't invest time in that part. Also, the brand has been successfully established in the Netherlands. Also, in Spain and Belgium, we have quite some traffic. And traffic and sales are picking up in the rest of the world, but at a slow pace. But we do see that year over year, the international share of revenue is growing. Like I said, so far, $0 has been spent on marketing. So I would really focus my time on organizing campaigns in the same niche in other countries to improve our online presence. So imagine if you have a fraction of the Dutch coverage in the US, that will really mean the revenue will skyrocket. So the tool has been designed to be country, cultural, and industry agnostic. It is multilingual. So I would say targeting other countries and industries would be a good idea to explore.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Certainly sounds like there's a lot of potential there. And as you say, it can work in pretty much any country, which gives you a lot of room for growth. Digging into the nuts and bolts of the business now, what is your current customer churn rate for subscribers?
To give a good answer to that question, first need to elaborate a little bit about our subscription tiers. So we have three tiers at the moment. We have a student tier that's around $9 per subscription per year. We have a professional tier that's ranging from $25 to $200. And we have a corporate tier that is from $200 onwards. So the student tier has a lot of churn because students, they use the system for an internship, for example, or a school assignment, and then they just drop the subscription. So students have a churn rate of around 80%. So the professionals are doing quite better. We're now having a churn rate of 34%, and the corporate accounts have a churn rate of 19.6%. So if you take a look at the revenue share, the students are responsible for 20% of the revenue, and the corporate accounts are responsible for 70% of the revenue. So all in all, I would say we have a weighted average of around 33% of churn. So there's still room to improve there.
Wonderful. Yeah, thanks. That was a great breakdown. As you say, it's important to show the churn for each of those categories because they are quite vastly different. What is the lifetime value for a customer of your business?
Yeah, so on average, what you earn from a customer until he stops renewing is around $40.
Okay, fantastic. And what is your acquisition cost for that customer?
Yeah, that is actually zero because we don't have any marketing or promotional campaigns.
Oh, that's ideal. I mean, that's every business owner's dream.
True.
So, do you upsell products or provide bundles, or are those the set subscription tiers, the ones that you mentioned previously?
Yeah, exactly. So with a larger account, you will receive a discount per study. So the larger account you have, the more discounts you receive.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So you mentioned that there's three sort of sets of customers. What does a typical customer in each of those categories look like?
Yeah, so the tool is used for like 91% in the educational area. So your typical user are teachers, mentors, wellness care coordinators, academic researchers, but also a large part are group therapists.
Okay, wonderful. So getting into your typical work week now, you mentioned that you do work in the software industry. How much time do you dedicate to this business per week, and what sort of activities take up your time?
Yeah, so by designing the system, I already had three pillars in my mind. So the first one is organic growth, the second one, self-service for the user, and the third one being automation of repetitive tasks. So this means that almost 99% of the business is fully automated. So the current tasks that are remaining are read and answer customer emails. I do that twice a week. Read and answer help desk tickets. I also do that twice a week and reviewing and processing direct bank transfers. That's a part that's still not fully automated. I do that twice a week as well. So on average, I spend around 3 hours per week on the business. During low season, that's currently happening, I only spend like 5 minutes. And during high season, that will be September, October, November, I spend up until 1 hour per day.
Wonderful. It certainly sounds like you put a lot of systems in place, as you say, to help automate the business and turn it into a great passive source of income.
Yeah, it is.
Have anyone helping you run the business? Any freelancers or employees that help you complete certain tasks?
Yeah, so up until 2020, I had this team around me that helped me, but it's really about the functional side of things. Me, myself, I am technical, so I take place in all the technical parts of the system. If you would say what will be a biggest challenge for a buyer taking over the business, that every SaaS business, you need to have some technical skills to maintain the system. So indeed, you need to have a freelance engineer, for example, as a backup.
Yeah, that's fantastic advice. Always good to have a professional backing you up there. With that in mind, with everything we've discussed so far, what do you think the biggest challenge will be for a buyer taking over this business?
Yeah, so like I said, for every SaaS business, the technical side of things, you really need to have a freelance engineer as a backup. Furthermore, we have quite a large customer base in Europe, so you need to comply with the GDPR regulations. We have multiple systems in place to do so you just can keep them as is. But to keep things simple, I would really advise to keep the data in Europe. This is actually easy to accomplish because many major American cloud vendors offer their service in Europe as well. As a matter of fact, we are using an American cloud vendor at the moment, and our software is deployed in Europe and our data, so there's no problem there. You can mitigate that risk quite easily.
Wonderful. So, Martin, how much support are you willing to offer buyers to help ease the transition and help them overcome these challenges?
Yeah, so I'm offering a 60-day transition period. And in that period, we can have as much emails, online chats, and texts, etc., as needed. After that, I would like to offer my service at an hourly rate for another 3 months for a maximum of 2 hours per week. And that being said, this tool has been part of my life for so long. So it really helps to increase the well-being of people. So I would really like to see this business thrive further. So if needed, we can always negotiate some kind of consultancy agreement after these 5 months.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's very generous. And I think buyers will really appreciate that support. When it comes time to negotiating the sale, would you be open to negotiating something like an earnout?
Yes, that is certainly an option.
Wonderful. And would you commit to a non-compete agreement?
Yes, certainly.
Okay, great. Well, Martin, that leads us to the final question of the interview, and the one that I think buyers have been waiting for, which is, if you had to put yourself into the shoes of a buyer, why do you think your business is a business worth buying?
Yeah, so first of all, you're buying a solid business, which shows an increase in revenue and profit year by year. It's around for more than 10 years, so the growing pain phase is long gone. And also, SaaS has a very low operational costs. So you only have to pay for hosting and domains. So you don't have any inventory, no supply contracts. So the risk is low. So 90% of this business is automated. You can really sit back and watch the orders flow in. So you buy software that is tested intensively over the year. It's tested in the field, but it's also tested regularly by security specialists. This business is not sensitive to trends, so the core functionality is already running for more than 10 years, and there's no complex redesign or web development needed in the near future. So next to a solid customer base, you also buy intellectual property built up in 20 years, designed by professionals in the industry.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's certainly a very established business that I think will make a great asset for the right buyer. Martin, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners that I might have missed?
No, I think we covered everything.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming onto the show and giving us a little bit more insight into you and your business. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
All right. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 62046. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.